Hey, welcome back to Toke It Out. My name is Maddy Tokes. Welcome to the best time of the year. Welcome to spooky season. It is October 1st, not on the day that you're listening to this, but today when I'm recording it, it is October 1st. So I am thriving. What did I just hear? Did I hear something? Oh, this! Can you believe I forgot I pressed the dab? Like, this is Toke It Out. I cannot believe this. Okay. Do you guys like my new piece? Don't look at it too. Don't look at it. Actually, don't look at it. You're not looking at it because it's so dirty. Okay. So now that I have toked, hope you have toked, let's get into it. Like I said, the best time of the year. It is spooky season. I'm all bricked up for spooky season. I'm all bricked up for spooky season. If you're not bricked up for spooky season, you don't get it. You don't get it. And that's fine, whatever. Wearing my The Exorcist shirt. I've actually never, listen to me, I've actually never seen The Exorcist. I'm watching it tonight. Hey, I know I say a lot of things, but I'm actually watching it tonight. You know why? Because, and I've uploaded it already on YouTube because YouTube sees everything first. That's sadly not true, but I did upload it to YouTube first. It is my horror movie schedule for October. It is what we are going to be watching every day in October. And at no surprise to absolutely anybody, I decided I was going to watch a horror movie every day. Like, I don't kind of try to do that anyways, but we're revisiting and then we're going to do letterbox reviews. So let me tell you guys, what day will it be when you listen to this? You poor, poor people. 7th. Today is October 7th. I'm speaking into the future. That's stupid. Today's actually October 7th if you're listening to this on the day it comes out. So I'm going to give you guys the 7 movies I will have watched by the time you guys listen to this. So, the first, we're watching The Exorcist. That's 1973. No remakes here. No remakes of that, okay? I do like some remakes, okay? Not Nightmare on Elm Street, okay? Loud and clear. Not Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, so the second, we're watching 2012's Sinister. The third, 1974's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The fourth, we're doing 1977's Suspiria. 2015's The Witch. Not Witch, The Witch. The VVITCH. The Vitch. The Vitch. Yesterday, the 6th, 1981's The Evil Dead. And today, the 7th, I will be engaging in 1987's Hellraiser. Okay? I know it's a lot for you guys to catch up on. If you've already seen it and you're very, very, very familiar with it and you feel like you can letterbox movie it, I don't freak it. If you can rate it on Letterboxd, go ahead and do it and let me know what you think of each one of those because genuinely I am very curious. Should I tell you guys any more? Should I tell you guys till the next one so that we can catch up together? Okay. Okay. And then I should have done this last week. Okay. I'm sorry. Everybody, I'm sorry. I batch recorded. This is why we don't batch record. Morbid's right. This is why you don't batch record. Okay, so tomorrow, the 8th, we're doing 1976's The Omen. The 9th, 2014, It Follows, which was filmed in Detroit. I think it was filmed not completely, but some in Detroit. And I'm sure some not, of course. But at least it was supposed to take place in Detroit. Let's find out. Was it actually? Guess we're not even going to get to it. Where was It Follows filmed? Where was it? Oh yeah, it was filmed partly in Michigan. Duh. You can see the Redford Theater in the back. So shout out to everybody in Redford, Michigan. You can see that. But we're doing It Follows. Then we're doing, okay, so we figured that out. It was obviously not entirely in Michigan, but the 10th, 10/10, we're doing Candyman. I know everybody thought it was going to be Halloween. It's not. It's going to be Candyman 1992. Why? Because we're doing Halloween and Halloween 2 back to back later. The 11th, House of a Thousand Corpses. 12th, Saw 2004. 13th, Friday the 13th, on brand 1980. And then by the time you guys watch the next one, we'll be on The Shining. Okay? So I even give you a one comes out on my birthday, the 14th. Everybody say happy birthday, Maddy Tokes. You're so odd. Okay, everybody say that exactly like it as you're typing the comment. Thank you. Thank you. That's horrible. So anyways, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing together as the family Tokes. Get with it. Jump on this train. because it is already left the station. So, guys, what am I doing? It's like 5 p.m. and I gotta tell you, I've eaten a protein shake and 3 Coke Zeros. So we're rocking and rolling into the Wednesday, October 1st. Into this Wednesday. Woo! Let's go. Okay. Some of you, maybe I need to not eat before Toke It Out as we get into it. Today I want to talk about clearly we're not only are we going to be watching scary movies all through October, but just like we have been for months at this point, we're going to be talking about spooky, scary things all October. Okay, so we're definitely going to be doing that. What are we going to get into first? Have you ever thought of a book that might be too dangerous to read? And is it all fake or is some of it kind of real? Well, the Necronomicon, I guess written by H.P. Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft crafted this Necronomicon as part of his lore in other stories. Now, who is H.P. Lovecraft? Well, obviously, I said other stories. So he is an American writer. Where is he from? Actually, Providence, Rhode Island, because it's always spooky in the Northeast. Let me tell you, man, there's like a little hair that keeps moving, and I keep thinking there's like a spider. Oh my God. I'm like, so listen, I just brought in my feral cat and I took her to the vet and she doesn't have fleas or mites or anything, but I'm still convinced that I'm gonna like get something from her until I give her a bath. She's a baby. And we called her baby cat, but she's probably 7 years old. Anyways, I'm tangent. I should eat before this. So H.P. Lovecraft was a fucking weirdo, right? Okay. And in the best way, because I love a weirdo, but he wrote a bunch of like fantasy, horror, science fiction type stories. Some of his most famous is the Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu? Cthulhu, not Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Cthulhu is how did they describe him? Simultaneous pictures of an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature. So, all together, an octopus, dragon, human is what Cthulhu is. H.P. Lovecraft wrote this story called The Call of Cthulhu. Cthulhu. Oh my God, I'm not Cthulhu. Sorry, guys. Maybe is it like Bloody Mary? I like say his name like 3 times. He comes and like rips the roof off my house. I've been saying it wrong, so who cares? Cthulhu. Okay. It was written in February 1928. This is a story about, it's basically notes and articles and this guy's last remaining notes. A deceased narrator, his name is Francis Wayland Thurston. He recounts his discovery of notes left behind by his great uncle, or excuse me, his granduncle, as well as his discovery. Like, as he goes on, he's finding out about Cthulhu. He's finding out that his granduncle knew about him and his granduncle was killed and then these other people were killed and there's all the connection of Cthulhu between them, and it turns out, spoiler, this is 100 years old almost, it's Cthulhu's followers and worshippers that are going around and killing people who are like finding out too much. So, and the end of the book is like, I'm leaving these notes in hopes that I survive and that these will not, this will not happen to somebody else or whatever. And obviously, to no avail that he was able to survive. He did not. So I'm not trying to laugh at that. It's a fake story. It's a fake story, you guys. I mean, you can laugh at a fake story, okay? So back to the Necronomicon. So that appeared in the book The Call of Cthulhu, The Hound, and The Dunwich Horror. Okay. I don't know really much about the other two, but I do know about the Call of Cthulhu. Lovecraft described the Necronomicon as, this is like a fake book. So he described it as written by the quote unquote mad Arab, Abdul Alhazred. The original title, Al's Azif, an Arabic word for the sound of night insects thought to be demons whispering. Oh my God, you guys. Let's bring it all back. If you are a listener of Toke It Out, which you may not be, this may be your first episode. I love you, first listeners. You're wonderful. But if you are a listener, do you remember 2, 3, 4, 9 episodes ago? I don't know when I did this, but we were reading stories, like scary stories about people, and somebody was saying that we looked up these insects that sound like they're whispering. Oh my God. So this might be like, there's a whole word for it. So these are like a specific thing. And it's obviously it must be like a Middle Eastern thing, if there's an Arab word for it to describe it, it's obviously so prevalent. Translated into Greek as Necronomicon, it means the Book of Dead Names. So it contains rituals, descriptions of ancient gods, and the ways to summon them. Now, this was not real. He obviously H.P. Lovecraft was super into creating, like he would have fucking blew J.K. Rowling. He would have blew Harry Potter shit out of the water because the lore behind the characters and these books and the actual text of the books and things that H.P. Lovecraft crafted into these horror fantasy stories is like, I mean, it's a 100-year-old book and we're talking about it. Now, H.P. Lovecraft was after Edgar Allan Poe, but if you are asking me, if you're talking about like who's the real Gothic American hero, I understand that like major depressive disorder is very Poe's thing, but H.P. Lovecraft, he was badass with it. He was spooky with it. He was a spooky motherfucker. So, anyways, but he also not only spooky, he was a prankster. So he let people believe that the Necronomicon was real. Not sure why you're doing that. Hey, if you write a fake book, tell people it's fake because you're going to be 100 years later and there's going to be some naive somebody who's going to go out there and is going to pick up some text or some passage and be like, well, this is ancient blah 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 text about magic. Like, I mean, he gave it fake bibliographic details to the Necronomicon. Like, I mean, he is really went all the way with it. He put his both feet into his writing clearly. And so clearly that the Necronomicon shows up in multiple books. And not only does it show up in multiple books, the Necronomicon is so infamous. I mean, it's showing up in places like Evil Dead, in Supernatural, which makes sense, but in places like Adventure Time. I think we all forget that Adventure Time has featured the Necronomicon. Okay? Can I pronounce anything? No. But Necronomicon, I can. How? Not really sure. Not really sure about this, guys. People say there's left brain and right brain. I think I'm like middle brained. I think I'm like riding that line like a skier, just like going back and forth between. Anyways, this is not about me. So, after Lovecraft died, people said, "Oh, this was a famous book and you're getting famous off of it? My turn." So in the 1970s, a book written called Simon's Necronomicon, a notorious hoax of Sumerian mythology, Crowley-style occultism, and Lovecraft's ideas, still in print today and used by some modern practitioners. I'm not saying you're wrong for doing that, but like, you wrote this for like a fantasy book. Cthulhu isn't real. Hey, spoiler. This guy from Providence, Rhode Island in 1920 something didn't know. Didn't actually know about a Cthulhu. Cthulhu? Cthulhu. Cuckoo. Okay. So other fake ones are the Hay Wilson Necronomicon. Maybe I can't pronounce it. It's satirical, but sometimes mistaken as real. Let's not be mistaking Necronomicons as real. They are not real. Okay? At least these Necronomicons are not real, but don't worry, we're getting to the what inspired it. Then we have Donald Tyson's Necronomicon. That is The Wanderings of Alhazred. That was published in 2004, which kind of makes sense to me of when Necronomicons, I feel like, were more in the zeitgeist than they are now. This is an occult fantasy retelling. Many of these books sold well because people obviously wanted to believe that Necronomicons were real, which I don't blame them. People are always looking for answers and oh, somebody's found the answer finally, or somebody's published it, or deciphered it, or whatever. So I totally understand why people would want it to be real. Okay, so let's talk about some real grimoires that inspired Lovecraft to write the Necronomicon. But first, what is a grimoire? A grimoire is, we defined this like last week, but a grimoire is a book of magic spells and invocations. What? Necronomicon, but invocations I couldn't pronounce. Grimoires are old as time, it seems. Seems like people, as soon as they were kind of, discovering alchemy in ways of science and other things, they were all also trying to find out magic. And I'm into it. That's awesome. One of the most famous ones is the Key of Solomon. Now, the Key of Solomon is a medieval grimoire attributed to King Solomon, but it's a pseudo-pigraphical text but it's a pseudepigraphical text, meaning it's falsely attributed to him and most likely dates to the 14th or 15th century Renaissance. The book details rituals and spells for controlling spirits by invoking God's power and includes instructions for creating talismans, magical tools, and special symbols used in ceremonial magic. The text outlines a hierarchy of spirits and angels with various operations designed to achieve goals that acquire wealth, finding love, or even causing harm, though it cautions against misuse. Now, if we're talking about anything, kind of into this one. Why? Now, the 14th and 15th century. I'm not saying that was the time of magic because we will get to it, but there is an Arabic text, I believe, that dates back even more to the 11th century. This is the one I'm most interested in. Is it because it's Italian and I have Italian heritage? No. It's because if we're talking about a time of like alchemy, of science, of discovery, that would be, in my mind, the Renaissance. You're taking a lot of medieval esque, ideas and finally putting logic to them. And obviously, I mean, they didn't figure everything out. I mean, people thought till the 18th century, people thought there was ghosts in your blood. So, like, I bring that up a lot, but that's so wild to me. But this, for the symbols, the talismans, the tools, I don't know, kind of into it. Kind of into it. Let me know what you think. So the next one is the Picatrix. The Picatrix is an Arabic, astrological, and talismanic text full of bizarre imagery translated into Latin in 1256. That is so cool. That is so cool. The Picatrix, okay, it's a composite work that synthesizes older works on magic and astrology, one of the most influential interpretations. It's a 400-page Arabic book of magic and astrology, again, I said that, which most scholars assume was originally written in the middle of the 11th century, though arguments for composition in the first half of the 10th century has been made. There is a whole 2 years ago thoughts on the Picatrix. I definitely say it's worth a read. It's one of those books you can read and reread and take something new or different each time you do. Okay. Okay, I'm interested. 400 pages, that is nothing. That's a couple of day read for real. That's an airplane read. So, next time you're at maybe you want to read an ancient text, next time you're on an airplane, the Picatrix. Maybe it might help. Who knows? The Book of Abramelin. In the 15th century, it's a text about contacting your holy guardian angel through months of rituals and controlling demons. Hey, I'm going to tell you right off rip, if demons are real, you're not controlling them. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to control them. I just think that that's not the point of demons. And same with angels. Like, I mean, you might be able to contact an angel. I don't know. Maybe you can. But I don't think you're going to control evil. Because if people were out here controlling evil, I take it all back. People might be controlling demons. People might be controlling demons. If you look at the world, who knows what might be happening. Obviously, with Lovecraft using the word Al-Azif, A-L, second word A-Z-I-F, is real Arabic. So he's obviously pulling stuff from the Necronomicon. He's pulling that from Middle Eastern stuff. So I can only imagine that the Picatrix and just Middle Eastern traditions and stuff, he's kind of, gleaning from to create his world. So why do people still believe? Why wouldn't they? Because people will believe anything. People will believe anything. And I mean, that is the long and short answer, I guess, of it. But obviously, I think it's people trying to find answers. It's people trying to like make explanations of life, are trying to, alchemize some kind of power, transmute some kind of energy into something else. It's a lot easier to follow instructions to do that than having to search within and find your own power, which is a years long process as is. P.S. If anybody is offended by anything I might say about your religion or anything like that, I am sorry that you feel that way. Sorry. I don't know. I can't babysit everybody's feelings about everything. So this is my blanket, like, sorry, if you don't like it, don't listen kind of thing. And man, I am like talking about stuff on the internet. Please. If there is something that can get misconstrued, misinformed, whatever, it's probably shit on this podcast. So feel free to be that logical, educational voice in the comments, although it's not your job to educate anybody, especially not my dumbass. But I mean, the Necronomicon is so infamous that, like, South Park and The Simpsons have put it on there. Again, Adventure Time. It's one of the most famous fictional grimoires ever written. And is that a very niche thing to be the most famous of? Yeah, it is. But it is. The Necronomicon kind of proves that a fictional book can really start a cultural obsession, honestly. Can start this, it can be, misrepresented and whatever. Okay, guys, well, I think that is going to do it for me. Sorry if this is a little bit short. Spooky season calls. I think we might keep the theme of like spooky texts, at least for next week, or at least part of it, but don't worry, we're gonna get into a lot more spooky things this October. Oh my gosh, I need to go eat food, you guys. This was not a good idea to film prior to food. Whoa. I will never do that to you guys again. That's probably a lie. Sorry. But I did want to tell you guys what my recommendation of the week is. And we have not had a snack in a long time, so let me tell you this. I'm like salivating thinking about it. I have not gotten my hands on the cannoli dip from Aldi yet. It's been out for like a couple of years, and it like Aldi, like Trader Joe's, because they're owned by the same people. They come out with like limited stock of things, but I finally got the cannoli dip because I rushed out as soon as I saw somebody post about it. Whew. If you like cannolis, even if you don't like cannolis, if you like a cannoli-esque flavor, if you're a cassata cake person, if you're whatever, 10 out of 10 recommend getting it. I've not tried the salted caramel one, but the chocolate chip is fantastic. So, how should you eat it? Straight on a spoon, baby. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. So, again, everybody wish me a happy birthday month. Oh my gosh. I will see you guys next week to talk more about spooky things. Go listen to my episode from last week about demons from from Lucifer to La Llorona. Should have done it the other way around, because La Llorona does come in fucking before in the alphabet. Am I stupid? Guys. Okay. Love you all. Have a great rest of your week. I will see you soon. Bye.